Have you ever had one of those days where everything seems to go wrong? Maybe your car breaks down, you lose your wallet, or you get some bad news from the doctor, all in the same day. Well, friends, buckle up because we're about to dive into a story that takes bad days to a whole new level. Welcome to the book of Job, chapters 1 and 2. This is where we meet a man whose faith is about to be put through the ultimate stress test. And let me tell you, it's not for the faint of heart. Right off the bat, we're introduced to our main character. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was blameless and upright, one who feared God and turned away from evil. Now, this isn't just a polite introduction, it's setting the stage for the immense drama that's about to unfold. You see, Job wasn't just a good guy, he was the good guy, wealthy, respected, and deeply devoted to God. He went the extra mile, offering sacrifice for his kids just in case they had sinned in their hearts. Talk about a superhero parent. But here's where things get interesting. The scene shifts, and suddenly we're getting a behind-the-scenes look at the spiritual realm. It's like God is holding a heavenly staff meeting, and who should show up but Satan himself? Remember, in the Hebrew, Satan means accuser. He's more like a spiritual prosecutor looking to take God's people down. God brags about Job, but Satan isn't buying it. Does Job fear God for nothing? He challenges in Job 1:9. Essentially, he's saying, of course Job loves you, God. You've blessed his socks off, but take away the goodies and watch how fast he turns his back on you. It's a question that cuts to the heart of our faith. Do we love God for who He is or just for what He gives us? Are we comfort-dependent believers, or will our faith stand when the storms of life hit? God allows Satan to test Job with one condition. He can't harm Job physically. And that's when the battle breaks loose. In a series of rapid-fire tragedies, Job loses everything. His livestock, his servants, and most heartbreakingly, all 10 of his children. It's a devastating blow that would break most people. But Job's response is nothing short of extraordinary. In Job 1:20 and 21, we read, Then Job arose and tore his robe and shaved his head and fell on the ground and worshiped. And he said, Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Wow. Just wow. In the face of unimaginable loss, Job chooses to worship. He recognizes that everything he had was a gift from God in the first place. It's a level of faith that's both inspiring and challenging. But Satan isn't done. He returns for round 2, arguing that Job is holding on because his health is intact. So God allows Satan to afflict Job's body with the condition his life must be spared. Job is struck with painful sores from head to toe, reduced to scraping himself with a piece of broken pottery. At this point, even Job's wife loses hope. Curse God and die, she tells him. But Job's response is remarkable. Shall we receive good from God, and shall we not receive evil? Job 2:10. Friends, this is where the rubber meets the road in our faith journey. It's easy to praise God when life is good, but can we still trust Him when everything falls apart? Can we still believe in His goodness when our circumstances scream otherwise? Job's story of enduring suffering reminds me of a challenge I once faced. Years ago, I decided to train for the Greek marathon, which took place on the original marathon route in Greece. I had never run such a long distance, and the training was brutal. As I read everything I could about endurance running, I was surprised to find out how so much literature was written about suffering and athletic training. As I trained, I learned to push through the pain, to keep going when every muscle in my body screamed to stop. And on race day, I climbed those Greek mountains. I hit a wall of pain I never knew existed. With just a kilometer left, I was ready to quit. The pain was unbearable. But at that moment, I looked up and cried out to God, and He gave me strength to finish. I crossed the finish line and collapsed, but the joy of completing the race was indescribable. The satisfaction of finishing was worth the suffering. That experience taught me a profound lesson about suffering and perseverance. And as we journey through Job's story, we're going to see this play out at an even more grandeur scale. Job was a righteous man, but he was about to learn the depths of faith and trust in God that can only be forged in the fires of adversity. We're left with some challenging questions as we close this chapter of Job's story. How do we respond when life doesn't go as planned? Can we trust God even when we don't understand His ways? We'll continue to wrestle with these questions as we journey through this incredible book. So keep your heart and mind open as we dive deeper into Job's story, because in his sufferings, questions, and unwavering faith, you might just find strength you need for your trials. Remember, the race isn't always to the swift, but to those who keep running. Keep your eyes on the author and perfecter of your faith, and never stop running.